Voters register exercise. Opposition leaders led by the National Unity Platform President Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu visit Dr. Besigye at Luzira prison. And police arrest FDC party members' demonstration in a free Dr. Besigye campaign. Hello there and welcome once again. We are coming to you live online and on air from Broadcasting House here on Nile Avenue. On sign language it is Senyamo Yusuf and I am Rukidi Kiijanangoma. Now the Electoral Commission has concluded the update of the National Voters Register exercise in preparation for the 2026 general elections. The exercise, which had kicked off on 20th January to the 10th of February 2025, was extended for a week to allow those who had not met the official deadline to verify their particulars with the Electoral Commission.
Pikwa Nora is the chairperson for women in Nkrumah Village, Kampala Central, moving door to door, reminding residents in her area to go and update their particulars with the Electoral Commission.
I've been mobilizing all my people to go, those who have not yet gone for updating of their names, and those who want to change to come and vote from Civic Center, and the youth who have not yet got their national ID. So I've been reminding them that today is the last day. Let them go and do the updating and do the registration and changing of the polling station.
The turn-up for this exercise in some of the polling stations we visited in Kampala Central has generally been good.
I've never seen a turn-up like this concerning registration, verification, transferring as today, as this station. People have transferred, people have verified their names. When people call you to make sure that if their names are there, they want to vote. So I think Ugandans have really participated in this.
According to Sewunya Haruna, the General Secretary Church Zone in Najjanankumbi Division, some people had mistaken the exercise for the renewal of national IDs.
There have been some Ugandans who were not knowledgeable about what was going on, but we have been telling them, informing them what is going on, because many of them, they thought we are renewing national ID. Yet for us here, we are updating the voters register and working on transfers of those who would like to vote in our villages.
This exercise has been running smoothly, but for the first 20 days, we were receiving low turn-up. But during the extension, we have started receiving more transfers compared to the previous one.
The update exercise has been targeting eligible Ugandan citizens of 18 years and above who are not yet registered as voters. It is also a self-reporting exercise in which a person intending to register as a voter turns up in person at an update center to provide his or her details, have their photograph taken, and the signature and fingerprints captured. Diano Olwen Peters, UBC News in Kampala.
To Madio Kolo now, where police has embarked on investigations over a mob justice incident in Madio Kolo in West Nile sub-region that led to the burning of 300 houses. Now, the police spokesperson Chitu Marsoke says the incident followed an attack on a traditional wedding that led to the death of 1 and injuring 19. Now, this and more security highlights were released in today's Police Weekly Briefing. Take a watch.
Over the weekend, at an introduction ceremony in Oguruku Cell, Madiokolo district, violence broke out, resulting in 1 death and 19 injuries.
Violence broke up, and that is when we registered 1 death and 19 injuries. The dead was identified as Angrudu Arnold, a 25-year-old male adult, and 7 other people who were coming from Parandra cell got injured, as well as 12 people from Oguruku cell.
In retaliation for the death and destruction, the aggrieved family organized revenge in form of mob justice and arson, setting ablaze 300 houses. Police says an investigation to nab the culprits is underway.
Actually, a big chunk of the population there is on the run. But the message we want to give people, these acts of lawlessness are very, very dangerous. You act in a group, but the day the law isolates you as an individual, the consequences usually come to bear, and bear very heavily.
The public is cautioned against mob justice. Meanwhile, in Kampala, police is investigating circumstances under which a security guard stole 79 million Uganda shillings from his employer on gunpoint.
We are looking into the allegation of the money and are looking to recover 8 million that is missing from what was reported by the employer of this security guard.
In another development, the Directorate of Traffic and Road Safety is set to tighten measures against errant motorists and riders. This move is based on the high number of cases registered in the last 7 days, which led to the arrest of 856 drivers.
And be informed that if you are got without a permit at all, for you, we do not have a ticket for you. You have to go to court. So all those people were taken to court.
At least 76 of motorists lacking driving licenses were arrested on roads last week. Some of the offenders lacked any idea on how a driving license looked like. Mario Nawori, Rogers Komagum for UBC.
Now, the Chief of Defense Forces, CDF, and Senior Presidential Advisor for Special Operations, General Rukidi Kiijanangoma, has commended the commanders and participants who took part in the parades during the Liberation Day commemoration in Mubende and the Tarehe Sita celebrations in Chotera. General Rukidi made his remarks during a luncheon and awarding ceremony hosted at the Special Forces headquarters in Entebbe, where he emphasized the importance of continuous improvement in military parades.
General Rukidi Kiijanangoma, the Chief of Defense Forces and Senior Presidential Advisor for Special Operations, hosted the luncheon for parade commanders of the Liberation Day commemoration and the Tarehe Sita. General Rukidi stressed the importance of the continuous improvement in military parades during a luncheon with parade commanders.
First of all, I want to congratulate you on an excellent military parade, both for the 39th Liberation Day celebrations held in Mubende and for the 44th Tarehe Sita commemorations, which were held in Chotera. You were very smart, your drills were sharp, and everything was well coordinated.
He expressed gratitude to the participants for their excellent execution of drills and highlighted the need to maintain high standards through unity drills and competitions.
Your attention to detail, pursuit of perfection, and discipline have made all of us very proud. The forces, the image of the armed forces of Uganda to the outside world in favorable terms. The Commander-in-Chief, the entire Army leadership, and indeed myself are very happy and proud of what you have achieved.
The commanders emphasized the significance of the parades in showcasing discipline and military capabilities.
Proudly honored and humbled to you, sir, and the strategic leadership of Uganda Defense Forces for having been given an opportunity to participate in the two occasions.
My deepest gratitude to our Fund CDF and Senior Presidential Advisor on Special Operations for his visionary leadership, which has been instrumental in shaping the strategic direction and enhancing the effectiveness of our military, especially in the theater of operation.
The initiative promotes continuous improvement, refines skills and strengthens teamwork among participants. By investing in military parades, General Hose Kainerugaba seek to uphold the Uganda People's Defense Forces UPDF reputation for discipline and excellence. Haruna Mtesasira, UBC News.
Moving on now, and opposition leaders led by the National Unity Platform NUP President Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu have visited Luzira prison this morning to check on political prisoners. However, they were unable to see some of them, including Dr. Kiza Besigye. We have more in this story.
The leaders present were Winnie Kiza, Ali Salaso, NUP Secretary General David Lewis, Lubongoya, and Leader of Opposition in Parliament, Joe Senyonyi. The delegation wanted to assess the condition of all political detainees, such as Dr. Kiza Besigye, Abed Lutale, and Bobby Young. Speaking after the visit, Kyagulanyi expressed sadness over their inability to see Dr. Kiza Besigye, urging Ugandans to pray for him. Besigye's message to the team was conveyed through Abed Lutale.
Just came from Luzira Upper Prison. We had gone to check on Dr. Kiza Besigye, Abed Lutale, Bobby Young, and many other political prisoners. We were not able to see Dr. Kiza Besigye because we were told he's very weak. He's not able to leave bed unsupported. But we saw Haj Abed Lutale. We also saw Bobby Young. They told us that Dr. Kiza Besigye has been on a hunger strike since Wednesday last week. He's increasingly becoming very weak, but he's strong. He sent us a message. He told us to fight not just for him, but for all political prisoners, especially those that are still incarcerated illegally, those that were sent to prison.
Winnie Kiza called on Ugandans to take collective responsibility for securing the release of all political detainees.
Human being, the right place where Dr. Besigye should be is in a hospital. They know that he's here, not by any means of law. The court that sentenced him to that put him in prison, the courts of law said it's an incapable court. Dr. Besigye is going through, any one of us can go through it. So it is all of us to say no.
Leader of Opposition Joe Senyonyi confirmed that a high-level meeting with opposition MPs is scheduled for tomorrow, 18th February, to discuss further steps.
I appreciate colleagues in Parliament because we have raised this matter severally. But we want to see a lot more that we can do. So tomorrow we are going to meet as the opposition caucus, joint opposition caucus. All opposition political parties are members of Parliament in Parliament. We are going to meet tomorrow morning to discuss this issue further, because each time we raise it, government tells us, okay, we are bringing a response, the speaker says the matter is in court and so on. But we think that this situation cannot continue to happen this way, especially...
I'm Nafka Farida and Sekaja Jamil.
Now, Dr. Chris Variomusi, the Minister for Information, Communication Technology and National Guidance, says Dr. Kiza Besigye's health condition is not as worrisome as is being portrayed in the public domain. Variomusi says that what worsened Dr. Besigye's condition had been the refusal to eat, something he says he encouraged him to resume. Variomusi's revelation comes amid public uproar over Dr. Besigye's well-being following his appearance last week at Uganda Road Court looking all frail. Henry Okrot reports.
Dr. Kiza Besigye's refusal to take meals and opt for water could have caused his health condition. Now, this has attracted public attention. Uganda's Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Variomusi, visited Besigye at Luzira prisons.
He's in a condition which is not very worrying. The challenge has been that he has not been taking food for the last few days. He has just been taking water.
For now, government is in the process of transferring Besigye's case from the military court-martial to the civilian court.
In our conversation, I counseled him and advised him to resume taking meals as the government handles the issue of transferring his case from the court-martial to the civilian court. And the process is on.
However, sections of the public are calling for Besigye's release.
The discussion should be on how do we keep peace in a sense that glorifies God.
Not everyone was comfortable with Barrio Munsi's visit to Dr. Besigye in Luzira. Dr. Besigye's wife, Winnie Byanyima, took to her X page to express worry.
She needs to reconcile her discomfort with the other members of the family. So when she says her family, I don't know who are the other members of her family who are not happy, unless she's saying that it's wrong to visit her husband. I think she's just playing politics, but my visit was not to do with the politics, but to visit him as a Ugandan who is in a prison.
Dr. Kizza Besigye was arrested in Nairobi, Kenya in November 2024 and arraigned at the military court-martial, a trial which the Ugandan Supreme Court recently declared illegal.
Henry Okrut reporting there. Meanwhile, the FDC party has expressed its dismay over the continuous detention of the party founder, Dr. Kizza Besigye, despite Supreme Court ruling and the deteriorating health of the retired colonel. FDC Deputy Party spokesperson Mulindwa Lubega told the media in Kampala at the party headquarters at Najanankumbi that the FDC demands an immediate release of Dr. Kizza Besigye so that he accesses treatment.
Dr. Kizza Besigye's deteriorating health after he appeared in court has raised concerns among the public and members of the Forum for Democratic Change.
It should be noted that Dr. Besigye was arrested in Nairobi 2024 while he was in a good shape.
Forum for Democratic Change Deputy Spokesperson Mulindwa Lubega told the media that Forum for Democratic Change condemns the continued detention of Dr. Kizza Besigye.
Given Dr. Kizza Besigye's critical condition, as observed in his inability to control motor functions and failed state of affairs, we as FDC urgently demand for his immediate release as per the Supreme Court judgment, which outlawed military court-martial from trying civilians.
Forum for Democratic Change says Dr. Besigye's health condition needs urgent medical attention.
It is imperative that he receives the necessary medical evaluation and care from a team of independent specialists of his family choice, which will inform the specialized care service that his condition necessitates.
Meanwhile, Forum for Democratic Change Party has officially unveiled its roadmap for the upcoming 2026 general election.
2025-2026 general elections. Set up a campaign bureau. The establishment of the campaign bureau will be done in May 2025. Then national nominations for special interest groups, Monday 2nd June to Tuesday 10th June.
The Forum for Democratic Change roadmap highlights a series of nationwide consultations, youth mobilization campaigns, and a plan for digital outreach.
Nomination to be done on Tuesday 16th and Wednesday 17th September 2025. Nomination of a state president, presidential nomination to be done Tuesday 2nd October and Friday, 3rd October 2025.
As the 2026 elections close in, Forum for Democratic Change is placing itself to solicit support of the electorate. Valerie Mwahulwa, Joseph Okol, Roy Kevin Matovu, UBC News.
Meanwhile, here in Kampala, police has arrested FDC party members who launched a demonstration dubbed the Besigye campaign, protesting for the immediate release of Kano retired Dr. Kizza Besigye, who is remanded at Luzira prison. We have more in this story.
The arrested included Kampala Deputy Lord Mayor Doreen Nyanjura, Ingrid Turinawe, a veteran political activist, among several other opposition figures who staged a protest at Arua Park, Kampala, demanding for the immediate release of retired Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye and other political prisoners. The protesters who participated in a demonstration dubbed Free Besigye campaign were abruptly disrupted by security forces, leading to running battles. Soonest, there was heavy deployment to disperse the protesters who carried placards, while others chanted slogans condemning the alleged political prosecution. However, police arrested several of them and detained them at Central Police Station in Kampala. The supporters vowed to continue protesting until Besigye and other political prisoners are released. Meanwhile, the Deputy Police Spokesperson, Kampala Metropolitan, Luke Owesigire, confirmed their arrest. Luke stressed that the arrested are guilty of public nuisance and disrupting people's businesses, among other preferred charges.
Police at Central Police Station Kampala have arrested 5 suspects on allegations of exhibiting acts that were deemed to be public nuisance on roads here in Kampala, as they decided to move from Mini Price to Arua Park. This act not only brought in a lot of traffic jam and disruptions within the city. We have decided to investigate allegations of public nuisance against them.
Ivan Juko compiled this report for UBC.
News Tonight will now take a short break, but we'll be returning with much more. Do stay with us.
Here's your chance to win school fees for your child for a whole year. Just pay school fees using Momo.
Nkowe High School na wana tufunye wo muwanguzi wa MTN Momo ye wangu de school fees ezo mwaka mulamba tebereza owulira otya mutima kati
banange sanyu byenye nali amochi wago nyanjaga nyangu amali balonze erinyo
esisi
njani awangula school fees eza Momo
ezo mwaka
mulamba de musanyu.
Oh my goodness
banange MTN mwenye yanza ne yanze
wanje
mwebale nnyo mwebalire ddala
nkubiriza muzadde munange yonna joli. Wallahi Satulia school fees for Momo Pay.
Dial *165 *80 hash. Select option 2 for school pay. Select option 1 to pay school fees. Enter the student number and amount and approve the transaction. You are now entered a draw to win school fees for your child for a whole year.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Form Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels, and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukoto Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor. Government of Uganda presents Post Buses in Uganda, operated by Posta Uganda. We specialize in professional transport, courier and vehicle hire services across Uganda. Our routes include Kampala Masaka Mbarara Kabale Chisoro, Kampala Mukono Jinja Mbale via Tirinyi Road Soroti Lira, and Kampala Luwero Kamudini Gulu Kitgum. Our main offices are located at the Post Office Head Office on Kampala Road, with booking services available at counters 23 and 24 at the General Post Office. You can also book at designated district post offices along our routes. For inquiries or bookings, please contact us on 0751 684 184. Posta Uganda. We deliver trust.
Agriculture is Uganda's economic backbone, employing about 70% of the working population and contributing 20% of the GDP. As the world becomes a digital global village, ICT has proven to increase productivity in the agricultural value chain. UKUSAF, through its Strategic Plan 3, recognizes the importance of access and usage of ICT-based tools, information and knowledge for farmers by providing them the needed skills to live, learn, work and participate in a digital society.
We came up with a project which we took to UKSAF, and we're happy that UKSAF supported it. That project is called ICT for Farmers. What did we get from ICT for Farmers? We managed to skill up to 100,000 farmers.
Tukwaniriza waka eri ebisanyusa. Eri Wi-Fi buli wamu. Eri speedi za internet eza waggulu. Eri obukuumi. Eri obuyambi obuli mu ddaala erisooka. Eri okwanguyirizibwa. Tukwaniriza waka eri MTN Wakanet, intaneti ensukkulumu eri buli maka. Kyalira www.mtn.co.ug kasali Wakanet. Tukwaniriza waka nga tuli wamu tewali kitulema.
Welcome back, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. Now, PFF supporters in Bushenyi district have taken to the streets to protest the alleged illegal detention of Dr. Kizza Besigye. Now, these have also criticized religious leaders for keeping silent as political prisoners continue to be held in detention centers. The protesters also demanded the immediate release of Besigye to enable him access specialized medical care. Take a watch.
For freedom supporters carrying placards portraying several messages have stormed the streets of Ishaka in Bushenyi in protest against the alleged illegal detention of Dr. Besigye alongside his aide Haj Obed Lutale Kamlegea and other political prisoners. These angry protesters say it is Besigye's constitutional right to seek medical care.
His constitutional right to look where he should go. Now we understand he was rushed to, imagine, to a clinic, and his attention, he needs attention of international level. So who knows what happened to him in Bugorobi? By the way, why should he be in prison in Ruzira now? Because it's very clear that the Supreme Court said that he should not be in prison.
Besides, these questioned the continued detention of Besigye, Lutale and other political prisoners, disregarding the Supreme Court ruling.
We understand Besigye should have been set free because the Supreme Court said that he should be set free. So we wonder as to why Besigye is in prison now. We have been seeing in the media Rukidi saying that not hang him.
So for us, we are here to say enough is enough. Our Dr. Besigye should be released, and not only Dr. Kiza Besigye, all political prisoners must be relieved. And on this, allow me take this chance to inform the DPP, please, enough is enough. I don't think by now this file should be still under the court martial.
These have also turned their anger onto religious leaders for keeping silent, as Besigye and other key political figures continue being held in prison under unclear circumstances. These have also given government a deadline of only Tuesday to release Besigye, lest they will think of another course of action.
We want to wait for Besigye to die. And if this country, if Rukidi and Museveni does not release Kiza Besigye, we are going to mobilize the young, the old, the villager, someone in the village, in the town. We are going to invite everybody to make this country ungovernable. We know we have the capacity. We know the power belongs to the people. People went to the bush to fight the draconian misrule of Uganda. We want to go to the bush. We shall fight here.
Dr. Besigye and his aide Obed Lutale remain in prison despite Supreme Court ruling that mandated their trial in civil courts other than the court martial.
And Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Norbert Mao, has advised opposition politicians not to mislead the public by misinterpreting the verdict of the Supreme Court. Speaking on the floor of Parliament, Mao clarified that the Supreme Court ruling did not order the release of Dr. Kiza Besigye, currently detained at Luzira prison, to walk out of jail. He noted that the Supreme Court ruled that it should not be tried in the military court since he is a civilian. Now, Mao's advice comes as Dr. Kiza Besigye's continued detention at Luzira prison is causing tension with a section of his supporters protesting, demanding Dr. Besigye's unconditional release.
Because of the case of Dr. Besigye. Now, Mr. Speaker, it is erroneous for anybody to think that what the Supreme Court said was a release order. The court does not say, I have freed, because the case hasn't been heard. They are only saying, bring it before the proper court, so that we hear the case. So we should not misguide the population, Mr. Speaker, by exciting them that now it is a release order. I would like the lawyers for Dr. Besigye to do their job. None of us is in office to fight the Supreme Court. If the Supreme Court does something and says that these laws are colliding, we do what I've called will alignment.
Minister,
I have nothing more to add to that.
Thank you.
I just want to call upon colleagues, put aside your political lens when you are discussing this. If the evidence is there, it will be presented before the civilian court. That will also be a trial. But now you are misleading the public to say the court has said, now these people are free.
Thank you.
But the Supreme Court did not hear the case. So how can they determine it?
Thank you. Now,
it is a shame that honorable members can misguide the nation like that.
And that brings us to the end of this bulletin. But do remember that our second and final edition comes your way at 10 on sign language. It has been Senyomo Yusuf and I'm Rukidi Kiijanangoma. But coming up next year on UBC TV is the front bench with Joram Paul Sonko, and he's on standby to tell us what he has prepared for us this evening. Joram.
Thank you very much, Kija, for the UBC News Tonight. The UBC News Tonight do return at 10 p.m. Our dear viewer, good evening. Thank you very much for joining us on the Monday Night Conversations. The hashtag on X is UBC Frontbench. The phone number you can use to engage with the conversations we're going to be having is 0709-602-592. Now, today we are talking matters health. And like I did mention in the promo, that in every state or in every country, the health sector is one of those critical sectors for any economy or for any country to survive. And it's upon us to also put our attention to Uganda's health systems and also have genuine conversations about every provision and every development that comes in from the sector. So that is why we are going to be having a conversation around achieving the necessary health for all Ugandans, but on top of it, the well-being of every citizen in the country. So the Ministry of Health does face the bench tonight in conversations that we're going to be having, looking at it from the side that it's one of those key priority sectors of our country, and that only puts us into a better position to open serious conversations. Just recently, after the 47th President of the United States, Donald Trump, was sworn into power, amongst the executive orders that he had includes freezing of the U.S. aid. Now, that particular one has got so many people throwing in their opinions in regards to the risks or in regards to the side effects of what we are going to be experiencing as a country in regards to U.S. aid freezing out. And then not only that, by the way, we are going to also look into the other cuts from the funders that have been very supportive and pivotal to the growth of Uganda's health sector. So join us, be part of this conversation. Remember, with the front bench, we engage your leaders as they address the concerns that matter most. Now, speaking of the Ministry of Health, I do have the two that are at the helm of decision-making and policy-making in the Ministry of Health. First is the Minister of Health, Dr. Jen Ruth Acheng, who joins us on the bench. A very good evening. Doctor, thank you for joining us.
Good evening to you, and thank you very much for having me here. Allow me also to say a very good evening to all the listeners and the entire population of Uganda. We are happy to be here to discuss issues concerning the health sector with you. Thank you very much.
All right, the pleasure is ours having you this very evening. Now, with the Minister comes the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Diana Atwine, who is also here on the front bench to have more of these conversations around Uganda's health sector. Very good evening, Dr. Diana. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good evening, viewers. Thank you very much for joining us. We hope we'll be able to answer your questions. And if not today, we can always have another time. But thank you so much for having us.
Okay. Well, indeed. And to you, our dear viewer, the hashtag UBC Frontbench. Come to the bench, come to the front. Let's make those decisions count. Let's also engage our leaders that I do have this very evening. This is UBC Television. When we do return after our symbol of unity, the conversations will definitely start. I'm Joram Paul Sonko. Thank you for joining us.